What's going on, guys? So today I have a little DIY project for you that I wanted to show you. Earlier, a couple months ago actually, I made an East dock sign for a friend of mine for his Dilophosaurus display, and I just wanted to show you guys how I made it. It's very simple to make. You'll just need a few supplies. Some of them you can get at Walmart, and the other ones you can order off of Amazon, or you can get them at Hobby Lobby or Michael's or any kind of arts and crafts store will usually have them. And so what you will need is, let's see, you'll need to go onto Google and you'll need to search for an East dock sign. And this usually comes up in the first couple of searches. This one you might have to look around a little bit, but you'll see it on there. And it's the perfect size for the sign. Everything is into scale with it, so it works out great. I printed out a few on this piece of paper just so I can have some on hand in case I wanted to make some extras. But just go and find an East dock sign. And you'll want to print it out on either glossy sticker paper or just regular paper if you don't have any glossy sticker paper. I don't have any at the moment, so right now I'm just using regular paper as an example, but you can get nice thick sticker paper and print it out on that. And then what you'll need to do is you will need to, once you print them out, you'll get your little piece and then you'll have to cut each one out. So there's the top, and here is the East dock part, and the little arrow that Nedry spins around. All right, and once you get those cut out, you'll want to get a thin piece of plastic, something that is thin enough that you can cut with a craft knife, an X-Acto knife. And so what I did was I just put these on here, like so. And then I got a Sharpie marker and I just traced the outline of each one of them on the plastic, and then I took the craft knife and cut them out. So you have the sign, the East dock part, and the little spot for the arrow. All right, and so that's the first step. Once you get those cut out, then you've got your templates to work with. And then what you'll have to do is you want to make a mold out of it. So the easiest and cheapest way to do a silicone mold is to get some 100% all-purpose silicone. Make sure it's 100% silicone. I'm using the clear, and you want to get some cornstarch, and you will basically just mix a big glob of the silicone onto a plate, however much you think you would need, and you'll want to start slowly mixing in your cornstarch, mixing it all together with a popsicle stick or rubber gloves or whatever. Do this outside though, because it does smell like vinegar and it burns your nose and stinks really bad. So you want to do this outside if you plan on doing this. If you need like a video or a recipe or how much to mix, there's videos on YouTube if you go and look. One guy has a video and he'll show you exactly what you need to do to make the mold. But it's a great mold and it works great for doing making just molds that you can just push stuff in. That way you can reuse it over and over again. So once you get the dough made and it's ready, you can smooth it flat. And then you will take your pieces that you cut out of the hard plastic and you'll just push them down into the silicone, like so. And then this is the base that the sign is going to mount in. And I made this just out of Super Sculpey and a little bit of texturizing it and baked it in the oven just to make one. And then the original is made out of clay. Of course, you'll push that in. And then you'll let the silicone harden, and it takes about 10-15 minutes depending, and then it'll be nice and hard and of course stretchy. And then once everything is hard, you just pull your parts out that you pushed in, and you will have a perfect mold ready for casting. So for casting, you're going to want to use amazing casting resin, and you can get this at Hobby Lobby, Michael's, any kind of craft store. Amazon also sells it. It's about $13-15 maybe at the most, and it goes a really long way. I've made a lot of casts and I still have a little bit left. So and you'll want to mix equal parts, usually about a tablespoon I think fills up these three things. So you'll just want to play around with the mixture, and but it takes about 5 minutes to set and harden, and I usually give it about 10 just to make sure. I put it under a fan and to make sure it gets really hard. And so after that it will look like this when you're done. I'll put the little pieces in that I just recently pulled out again, and so it'll look like that when you're done. And then all you do is just make sure that they have set and they're hardened, and you just pull them out you will have perfect replica, resin cast, nice and thick, of your e-stock sign. And so for the actual post that the signs will mount on, I just got a piece of toy fencing from my daughter's play set or something like that she wasn't using, and I pushed it into another piece of silicone mold to make a resin cast of it. And it just turns out like that. You of course pour your resin in, wait for it to harden, pull it out, and you'll have your resin post. And then you'll have to do a little cleanup work with a sandpaper or a Dremel tool, depending on what you have. And then you'll also have to play around with the base down here to get it to slide in. And of course, super glue that base onto there. Super glue the top sign onto here, the one in the middle, and then the arrow sign. And then when you've got that all super glued, you will have this. And then just go through with some sandpaper and just kind of smooth out any kind of rough edges that need to be cleaned up. And then once you're done with this, you'll prime it flat gray, like this. And then what we want to do is we want to paint it white. Alright, so I got 2 coats of white paint on this, and now we're going to paint the base. And I'm just going to paint the base khaki. It's going to have like a sandy dirt color. Okay, and then we'll let that dry, and we'll put a wash over it to bring out some of the detail. All right, so I got the base painted and it's dry. I got the decals on and they're glued on and nice and secure. And so now what I want to do is I want to weather it, because I want to kind of make it look like some of the paint is chipping and some of the wood is coming through. I don't want it to look too neat. So we are just going to get a little bit of paper towel here, and we're just going to dry brush on some light brown highlights. Just on the just along the edges right here. Like some of the paint is kind of worn off, and it's been out in the elements. Okay. And we'll just take a little bit of this dark gray pavement. Kind of do the same thing, just real lightly. Let's see if that looks good too, like right on the edges here. It's been raining and it's kind of washing some of the grime down on the back of the sign. Here in the cracks. Up the top. And just kind of play around with it to your taste, whatever you would like. Alright, so we got that, and now we're going to do this sepia wash on the base to kind of bring out some of the dirt. I want to make it look like it's muddy and wet. Alright, so we got the base down here, and we're just going to get a little bit of this game wash. Just put a little bit of the game wash, if that'll be enough. A little bit more. Just wash the base in it. Gives it a nice muddy effect. Alright, cool. So we'll let this dry, and then we will we're gonna seal it in a matte finish, and then we're gonna gloss this with a nice gloss coat. That way it looks wet and muddy, but everything else won't be really glossy. It'll just be a nice matte finish, and it'll help protect the paper stickers. So we will be right back. All right, so we just got a little bit of the acrylic matte finish just to kind of seal the front part in. Nice light coat. Lock it all in and protect it. All right, now we're gonna take a little bit of hard as nails clear nail polish and just go over the base. And this will make it look wet and muddy. Give it a pretty cool effect. Easy as that. And here is the finished sign next to Nedry and this angry pack of Dilophosaurus. So it's a pretty easy DIY, guys. Let me know in the comments below if you decide to make one. Remember to like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram @TedBrothers. And as always, thanks for watching.